Discipleship is where we step in and we help people grow. My friends, you made it. I am so glad that you are here today. Listen, God's got something great for us in His Word, and we're going to dive into it. The best time of the day to do so, breakfast time, and I can't wait to do this. So let's just jump in together. I'm going to take you to Philippians chapter 1, and we're going to look at a couple verses here, actually. We are going to look at 18 and right before that 17 so that we get a full picture of what's going on here. It says, "The former proclaimed Christ out of selfish ambition, not sincerely, but thinking to afflict me in my imprisonment. What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed, and in that I rejoice." You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I get a little frustrated with certain individuals who utilize the gospel as an opportunity to get rich. Now, I know that there's a lot of discussion about this, a lot of debate, but here's the reality. There are people in this world who have a bitter taste in their mouth because of those who've tried to seize the gospel as a money-making cash cow, all right? Drives me nuts. But at the same time, when we look at all the different ways that people are spreading the gospel, one thing I can say is even though some of these guys are doing it for the wrong reasons, the gospel is still being proclaimed. Now, when it comes down to discipleship, that's a totally different aspect. I don't know how many of you today are kind of in the same boat. Maybe you've had a background in church. Maybe you've actually been wounded by the church. Maybe you just deal with stuff that happens in the church because you know, hey, I got to grow up and mature. No matter where you're at, this is the reality. We're never going to be in a time, as long as we're in this flesh, where people do not take advantage of the gospel. People will do whatever they can for their own selfish reasons if it fits for them to gain. So it's not something that surprises us. Now, I'm not saying that we should be happy about it because, frankly, I'm irritated. And when you even look at what Paul is talking about, he says, listen, some of these guys who are doing this, they think they're afflicting me. And rightfully so. Paul knows that when it comes to falsely preaching the gospel, that's something that, should be dealt with. But at the same time, even if someone is not genuine in preaching the gospel, it doesn't limit what God can do in the life of a believer or in the life of a soon-to-come believer who is hearing the gospel for the first time. The truth is, we need to realize that even when there are those who are after selfish gain when it comes to preaching the gospel, if they're preaching the gospel, then we have the opportunity to see others come to Christ. Now, discipleship is a totally different area. Discipleship is where we step in and we help people grow into what Christ has called them to be. And when it comes to that aspect, the false teacher just will not aid anything. So that is where the church gets involved, and that's probably why as a pastor I get really irritated about this kind of stuff, because discipleship is part of the process that the Lord has entrusted to me for the people that come into the church. So naturally it's going to be frustrating, but we need to realize that even though there's people who are out there irritating us, and we could say, oh well, they're not preaching the whole gospel, or they're not doing the right kind of discipleship, what we can say is that whether in the right way or the wrong way, the gospel is getting preached. And if the gospel is getting preached, remember what the Bible says. The gospel is the power of God unto salvation. And as people get saved, God is strong enough and big enough and good enough to be able to get those who are genuinely responding to truth into the discipleship that they need. And through that, we can rejoice that even though there are some who mistreat the gospel, God can still work it for good. So, my friends, today, don't be a vessel that proclaims the gospel for the wrong reasons. Be a vessel that shares the gospel and for the right reasons so that people can come to Christ and you can be trusted with discipleship. All right, my friends, that's our goal. That's our task. Go out and shine the light of Christ today. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time. God bless. My friends, Breakfast with Bradley is making a powerful difference, and you are part of that. If you would consider joining with us financially to reach more people, go to our Patreon account and sign up. And my friends, we'll make a powerful difference in all those who want to hear. Thanks for being part of us. God bless you.